101.5 FM, and that's Tamara Stewart. I caught up with Tamara a couple of weeks ago. Her album's doing fantastic stuff. What a fantastic singer and songwriter. Tamara Stewart, powerful voice. If you haven't had a chance to see Tamara live, make sure you get around and catch up with her, because she really is one of Australia's premier country music singers. There's no doubt about it. Well, Tracy was putting together the program. Everyone knows she'll still be away for a couple more weeks probably. She was putting together the program, and she came across the music of Chuck's Wagon and said, we need to find out more about that, and who better to find out than Chuck himself, and he joins us on the line. G'day Chuck, how are you?
G'day mate, how are you?
Mate, absolutely brilliant. Now, I don't think anyone would understand, anyone would have any doubt that Chuck's Wagon is a country band.
Yeah, look, I think when I started Chuck's Wagon, I always wanted it to be accessible. I wanted it to be something that was fun, but also sang about some, as a songwriter, I've always written things of a serious nature, but I'd come out of a band that was a country punk band called Deadwood 76. Meaning that Wild Bill Hickok died back in 1876 in Deadwood, and it was a fun band. And so when I put Chuck's Wagon together, I thought, well, let's make it simple and let people know what they're coming to see right from the poster,
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, does it? Let's people know what they're doing. So what were the influences, or who were the influences for your music?
I suppose I'm a fan of the original outlaw sort of. The original outlaw movement, the Waylon Jenningses, the Texans that moved back to Texas when they realised that it wasn't going to happen for them in Nashville, or they realised that the Nashville success wasn't all that they needed. So, Willie Nelson, Billy Joe Shaver, Jerry Jeff Walker, those guys that just wrote earthy, good songs, some of them tongue-in-cheek, and I suppose they were the people that really started speaking to me. And when I was just a boy, I've got all the stories like a lot of country artists, I suppose, that my mum and dad tell me when I was a toddler I used to stand in front of the TV and rock back and forth to Gene Autry. But I still don't think that was the influence. And I think Johnny Cash's Live in Folsom Prison was something that my dad used to play a lot. And I've had Christmas dinner in the same house for the last, 40-odd years of my life, and every year we listen to Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton's Christmas album. So it's just interesting, those little things that weave their way in when you're a songwriter,
Yeah, that's you sort of brought back some memories for me of sitting around listening to Johnny Cash, and I was a massive Waylon Jennings fan, and enjoyed that sort of stuff. I do have to say that my mother, I think she only had 2 albums, or 3 I should say. One was Chris Christopherson.
There you go.
Which was, which sort of gives you that earthy sort of sound that you talk about.
Yeah.
One was Roy Orbison, and the other one was Hot August Night. So
there you go.
That's
well,
it.
It was back when records were records, wasn't it? Really, I think when people wrote albums, and I have a huge appreciation for that. Like even Neil Diamond, as crazy as that sort of sounds on a country program. I recently listened to some of his more modern recordings because he'd got together with Rick Rubin, who famously turned Johnny Cash from, a legend into an American icon in the end with all the recordings he did at the end of his career. And so Neil Diamond was approached by him, and the last couple of albums of his are really earthy, folky, down-to-earth albums written by a man in the sort of golden era of his career. So
it's funny that you do that. You mentioned that. We were talking just recently to Rob Mackay from Trans-Pacific Music, and of course from the Bobcats. They do some terrific things, and Rob's an ex-Victorian rocker. And they do some great country stuff now. And we made the comment that you wouldn't have thought that that people like the likes of Robert Plant from ZZ Top is probably one of the most renowned people in bluegrass country at the moment with what he does with Alison Krauss.
Well, and even you're exactly right. And I think all old rockers end up back at roots music, I believe, whether it be country or country blues or folk or Americana. I think all pop music came from that. And I love, at the moment, he's playing with under the moniker of his original band called the Band of Joy, and he's got Buddy Miller playing guitar with him, with Paddy Griffin on acoustic guitar and singing. It's just phenomenal, the music he's coming out with.
And it's still there, isn't it? It doesn't matter whether you're playing some hardcore rock or country. If you're good at what you do, just do it.
Oh, look, I think so. I mean, the thing that's inspired me always as a songwriter is it's 3 chords and the truth, and it doesn't really matter what backbeat you got behind it. That'll just create the genre. I think if someone's got some mastery and they've got something real to say, it's going to come through. And I think what I like about maybe what Robert Plant's doing at the moment is it's authentic and it's age appropriate. He's not. I mean, he said no to Led Zeppelin reforming. He said no. He could have made $1 billion. He said no. At the moment, I've sort of got this thing happening. He stayed with it. He won a Grammy, and he still stayed with it, which I'm sure, it's not like those guys need money, but he could have played around. I think when they played the QE tours, when they reformed, they got 20 million lottery tickets or something. That 20 million people tried to get those tickets for that concert. Quite extraordinary, you know.
It sounds like a Saturday night at a Chuck's Wagons venue, hey? 20 million trying to get there.
Ah, mate, yeah, if we'd all be that lucky.
Tell us a little bit about the album and what's happening.
This record, I made a decision. I put Chuck's Wagon together about 6 years ago, and I made a few decisions. One was to record quickly and to travel fast and far. So after the first record, I went to Texas. I return there every year. Our next tour starts in November. We go for anywhere between 4 and 6 weeks. Now and takes in Kansas and Colorado, and the first 2 albums I did over here. First one was with John Williamson. John Williamson's NREC Studio, Steve Newton's his sound man. Second one was with John McConnell, who did the recording with The Flood and works with Felicity Urquhart, and we got a great record out of that called Lipstick and Sin. But this one, I thought I'd take over a touring Australian band, and we pull in a couple of Texans, and I thought I want to go and record in Texas. I want to use a Texas pedal steel player that just knows the honky-tonk sound, and so that's what this album was about. There's an American singer-songwriter called Chris Wall. I think one of his famous hits was Feel Like Hank Williams Tonight. He put me in touch with the producer.
What a great song. What a great song.
Yeah, yes. And he put me in contact with a guy called Tommy Detmore, and so I recorded this last November in San Antonio, mixed it, went over there to do the South by Southwest Festival and mixed it there, mastered it here in Sydney, and we're going to have it out the single is out now, I Play Country, and the album is launched in October. We are launching it in America in November. So we're just always throwing the dice and having a go.
That song, I Feel Like Country Tonight, that was a Jerry Jeff Walker song, was it?
Well, Chris Wall wrote it and Jerry Jeff recorded it. Feel Like Hang With, and I think he got a Grammy, like a country Grammy nomination for it. So Chris was always grateful for Jerry Jeff's rendition of that song, very similar to, I think George Strait is very grateful for Bruce Robinson is a Texas country songwriter, and he wrote Troubadour, which he just got a #1 hit for. So
yeah, brilliant stuff. That and of course for our Adam Harvey fans, of course, I'm one of Adam Harvey's fans. He does a brilliant version of I Feel Like Hank Williams Tonight. So if you've never heard the song, you've got to get on there. Now, I was looking on your biography page. We're talking to Chuck from Chuck's Wagon, and I've got to say I had to look twice at the picture of you with the hat on there, and I thought this is Bobby Bear in his younger days.
There you go. Look, I go to buddies of mine that are in more alternative country bands. Always have a bit of a giggle sometimes. I travel over the States a lot, and Texas just speaks to me. Every year I drop into Paris Hattier's where Waylon got his hats and Johnny got his hats, and get myself a new Stetson and then tour with it, and it becomes a memorabilia of that tour. So yeah, it's I just don't think you can go over there and not live it. You know?
Yeah. Look, we're talking to Chuck from Chuck's Wagon. I can tell you what, I reckon we could talk all night. We're just having an absolute ball finding out about the music and so forth, and you know what makes Chuck's Wagon tick and what makes Chuck tick, and with the music, mate. We are quickly running out of time. Nick Irby's right behind us here, so we might find out a little bit about the current single, "I Play Country." Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that song came to me really, you know, when you're a 40-odd-year-old Aussie country singer and you're not famous, you know, we're very grateful to the CMC for playing our singles, but I keep going out of the pure passionate love of it, and I Play Country is a bit like that story. And I'm not singing about tractors and the land. It's not my experience, but what I'm singing about is about a country singer that's on the road, and any country singer that travels far and wide, you leave people behind you. I've left families behind at times when they haven't worked out. I've left musicians behind. I think one of the lines is, you know, people don't hang around too long. Sometimes they're gone before the next show, and I've literally had to ring musicians to be performing at the next show because someone's quit the band, and Chuck's Wagon keeps rolling. So this song, "I Play Country," is just about that sort of journey as a songwriter, and the chorus is simply one of the bumper stickers in Texas. I wasn't born here, but I got here as fast as I could, and I think with the country scene at the moment, that in a way, that's Chuck's Wagon. I wasn't born here, but we certainly got here as fast as we could, and so "I Play Country" we're just hoping does well for us. As I said, it's got half Texans and half Australians. It's a great blend of musicians. I've got Mark "Bucky" Collins on banjo, the great Australian banjo slayer. I've got John Wardle on lead guitar and Stephen James from San Marcos. John Wardle's an Australian man, and so we just got a nice blend of musicians. I've got an upright bass player from San Antonio, Texas, called Tomcat Miller. So we just got that great blend of earthy Texas honky-tonk man and good Australian sort of country journeyman. So I really hope folks enjoy it.
Mate, if they do enjoy it tonight, how they get hold of the CD?
At the moment, it'll be. I think we're just about to place it on iTunes, and WJO will be distributing it for us when the CD gets pressed in October. So by Tamworth, it'll be out and about. But people can get it online through our website, which is www.chuckswagon.com.au.
And of course all the social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook and the like, if you want to catch up with what Chuck's Wagon are doing. Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure to catch up with you tonight and find out a little bit more about what people have been talking about this terrific band Chuck's Wagon. Mate, it'd be great if we had more time. I reckon we could talk all night, but we had better play some music for the people, and we'd love it if you introduce your single right now.
I'm Chuck from Chuck's Wagon, and you're listening to "I Play Country."